Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. In our last class, we discussed about some of the functions that we use on daily basis while doing performing data analysis on any of the data set. So I started with a very small project. So just you guys can have an idea that how to apply those functions that we learned so far. So today I'm going to take another data set just to walk you through with some more examples that we use to filter and sort our data. So this is the data set that I have manually created here. So let me first import my pandas, and this is the data set. And I have named this data as army because that is do having some fictional army data, which is having some information related to the battles, the regiment, the company, the death of the soldiers, and the size and some other informations I do have into this data set. So we are going to apply some function on it. So first, here is the data. You just go through with this data set. We have the regiment, the company, death, battle, size, veterans, readiness, armored, deserters, origin. These are the columns that we do have in this data frame. So just to start with, I have already noted some questions here so that we guys can answer them. So first is we just need to set the column origin as an index of the data frame. So how to do this? First, I'll be writing the name of the data frame, which is army. Then I'll do set index. That is a predefined function. And in this function, I have to mention the name of my column. So the column name is origin. Yeah, this is in lower cases only. Let me verify it. Yeah. And just to make any changes to the master data, we have to do in place equals to true here. So let me write it here only, and here it goes. So we can check it out as well, and let me run it. So we have created origin as a index of this data set. So now previously the index was the default one, which was 0 1 2 3 4, that you can check. And then we have set the origin as an index of this data frame. That's what you can observe from this output. Now you can set index as any of the column, so it's up to you. Here we wanted to set as an index the origin one. It's up to you. Let's say maybe you have any date column, or you want to index it based on any other information, so you can use any name of the column for that purpose. Next, what we want to do, we basically want to print only the columns, okay, with regiment and veterans. So you remember the lock and ilock facility, we'll be using that here. So that is basically for lock ilock filtering sorting. So we are going to have something related to those functions. So lock, and we want all the rows. So in lock function, in lock we can pass double columns. I mean columns only, single column, not the double one. And that is the row part. That means I needed all the rows, and for column I needed two columns. So let me write the name of those columns: the regiment and the veterans. Here it is. So if spelling is correct, let me run it. Here it goes. So all the rows, and we have selected a specific column. So have you noticed that I have added these two column in the one more square bracket, because they are not in the sequence, or I just randomly picking those column. If you check it, they are not in sequence, right? So if we are randomly picking any column, so we need some extra square brackets. In that, by using by separating comma, we can add the name of the columns. So that's what you can apply for any column. Now let's say we want to print the I mean the spec. You can write this code in another way as well. Let me copy and paste it. For example, here as well you can write it without lock and ilock 2, because that's a default option. And you can write it like this. Here it goes, exactly the same output you will be having. But I do recommend lock and ilock for initial stage once you start learning. So just to avoid a lot of confusion, you can start lock and ilock. I told you that lock is for the label based indexing. So we have all given the name of the columns here, and rows, we needed all the rows, so I have put it columns for that purpose. So we can write that syntax like that as well. That's the default for row. Now let's say we want to print the columns veterans and deaths. So we can apply the same here too, either with lock or without or lock, it's up to you. So we can write it like this. That's one column, and the other one is like this. So we have extracted these two columns with all the rows. Here it goes. So that's the output. And now next one is basically select the depth, size, and deserts column from origin, Texas and Alaska. Means two specific index we need to select, that is Texas and Alaska, and three specific column required to get this output: depth, size, and desert. So how we are going to write it? Let me write the lock here. Dot lock is for label based indexing. So here I need a random rows as well. So just to get that output, I'll be passing one extra square bracket. So Texas is here, T is in caps, and we have Alaska, A is in caps, and that is the row part basically. Then we separate it by comma. Now let's move to the column part. Column is also, we are randomly picking from the data set, that's not in sequence, so we cannot pass a direct range to this. So we can pass a square bracket, and in that square bracket you will be passing the name of columns. So the name of columns are this and this and the deserters. Let me write it. Here it goes. So okay, perfect, we got the output. So here we have only two rows, Texas and Alaska, with three columns, depth, size, and deserters. So if any case you have some requirement related to specifically selecting any row and column, so you can write those lock, or basically we can use iloc as well. For iloc we have to pass this in basically the index, so we have to count the index of Texas and Alaska. Whatever the index Texas and Alaska do have, you count that and you write that index here. So it's I recommend to use lockweek so that we can directly check that part. In case you keep counting the indexing, you can use iloc as well. And for the column, we have given the name of those columns here. So here is the output. Now let's move to the next question. So what we need to do, we need to select the rows 2 and 8 and column 3 to 7. 2 to 8 and column 3 to 7. So we can use, basically you remember the iloc thing. So iloc, what is the sequence for row? That is 2 from 8, and for column we have 3 to 7. So simple, you can write it like this. Yes, so we have the row index which starts from 2. If you count, let me call the army data here. So you see that 0 1 2, so 2 index starts from Texas, and you see that's here. And 3 index for column starts from battles, so which is 0 1 2 and 3. So it starts from battles and goes till 7th index. So this is how we can use index to extract particular row or particular column. So we have used iloc for that purpose. I believe you're clear with iloc and lock thing. If not, please check my previous videos for this part. Now the next topic is select every second row after the fourth row and column. Try to understand this question. We need to select every second row which starts from fourth row and all the columns needed. So the syntax for this would be army as the name of the data set. Then we can write iloc, perfect. And from where a row it starts from row 4. So we have written 4, and every second we need it. So to pass the interval, we needed double columns and all the columns. So we'll be writing something like this. So the syntax here is army.iloc, means from the index we are selecting that row and column part. So row starts from fourth index, so that's why I have written 4 first. Then every second row I need to pick. So to pass the interval, we have to write 4 columns. So 4 columns, 4 rows, 4 columns. So we have 4 rows, 4 columns, 4 rows. So 4 columns, 4 rows, 4 columns, 4 rows. So 4 columns, 4 rows, 4 columns, 4 rows. So 4 columns, 4 rows, 4 columns, 4 rows. So 4 columns, 4 rows, 4 columns, 4 rows. So 4 columns, 4 rows, 4 columns, 4 rows. So 4 columns, 4 rows, 4 columns, 4 rows. So 4 columns, 4 rows, 4 columns, 4 rows. So 4 columns, 4 rows, 4 columns, 4 rows. So 4 columns, 4 rows, 4 columns, 4 rows. So 4 columns, 4 rows, 4 columns, 4 rows. So 4 columns, 4 rows, 4 columns, 4 rows. applied double colon, so which I have applied here, and for every second, that's why I have written 2. If it should, let's say it is every fourth column, so I'll be writing 4 double colon 4. If every third, so I'll be writing double colon 3, and all the columns. So here it goes. So if you check, that starts from fourth index. What is the fourth index? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's many, and every second, Alaska, Oregon, something like this. You got it? So it will be picking every second row, which starts from fourth index of row, and all the columns. This is what this syntax says. And let's move to the next question, which is select every row up to the fourth row. That means till fourth index of row we needed. So how I'll be writing this? This is the data set dot iloc. So the first thing is till fourth I needed all the rows and all columns. So that means I can write something like this. So first part is before comma is rows till fourth index, and column I need all the columns. So I haven't passed any starting and last range for column parts. So here it is. So all the columns till fourth. So 0, 1, 2, 3, because last range is excluded, but the counting will be 4 only. Is it okay, guys? You move ahead with the next. I mean, what is the next? So next is select every second row and every second column. So how we'll be writing it? Army dot either lock or iloc, it's up to you. Every second row. This is something we can write for row, and every second column. This is how we can write. So it will pick every second row and every second column. You can match it with your army data. So every second row, that means it starts from Arizona and it will take Texas, then Maine, then Alaska, and that's it. Oh, sorry, that then Oregon, then Louisiana. Here it is: Arizona, Texas, Maine, Alaska, Oregon, and Louisiana. Then we have for columns, you starts from regiment and then deaths, then size, then readiness and deserters. Here it goes. So it has picked every second column. The interval is two. I mean, first, then you leave the next one, then pick the next one. This is how it goes for rows and columns. And you can do the same thing with block too. Let me write the code here. Dot lock, because here we are not giving the name, we are basically passing the interval, so you can use it with lock and iloc both. Here it goes. Previously we used iloc, here we use lock, so the same output we'll be getting for that purpose. So the next is select rows where death is greater than 100. So that means we need to perform this operation only on one column. So first we need to select that column. So how to select a column from a particular data set? We pass the name of the data set, and then we can select that column. There are multiple way to do it. This is one of them. And then we have to apply the condition. The condition is that should be greater than 100. So if you directly apply it, you will get the output as true and false. But if you want to subset it, you may write like this. I hope it is clear to you. I've already conveyed this thing to you in series and data frame as well. So this is how. So you see that the depth value is greater than 100 for each and every row. You can apply certain kind of condition on any column or more than two columns, or as per your requirement. Now the next is select rows where depth is greater than 500 or less than 50. So basically here we are going to apply two conditions altogether. So the syntax would be, first is for depth column. Okay, so what is the condition here? That is, that should be greater than 500. And the next condition is with or. So for or we can write pipe, this pipe that will come with shift, and you can pick a key which is below than backspace, or the same key that we use for backward slash, right? And the next condition is, I have to give it in small parenthesis. Here it goes. This is the first condition. right? And then in next small parenthesis, I can pick the next condition, which is army, and for the same column, right, what I have to do, that should be 50, and I need to subset that as well. So I have passed those square bracket around this syntax, and I have written the name of data set. So here you can see all the records are either your death is greater than 500 or less than 50. So this is the output based on this condition. If you have a condition on end and or, so you can apply that as well. And if you have multiple conditions all together for one column, you can use is in keyword. I have shared that in my previous video. You can check that out. And now let's move to the next question, which is select all the regiments not named scouts. So that should be not equal to condition. So how we are going to write it? The data set, we have to select the column, which is regiments. Here it goes. And the condition that we are going to apply is for not equal to, I'm sorry, that is the symbol for not equal to, and the condition is that should not be equal to scouts, right? If I'm not wrong. Yeah. And we subset that using square bracket, and we'll be writing that like this. Here it goes. So what is the mistake that we made here? Let me check it out. Army and the regiment. That is regiment, not the regiments. Yes. And we have selected everything which is not scout for this regiment. You see that we have dragons and nightwalks, right? So this is how we can basically apply a kind of filter to a data to get a specific value. Let's move to the next question. Select all the regiments named dragon. So here we just write something like this. We'll select a column. That is the name of the column. And we have to apply a condition like this. It's double O and S, and we'll be subsetting it. So we needed a square bracket as well. And here it goes. So everything is dragons here under this particular column. Here it is. So you can apply this for any column for any condition. Now let's move to the next question. Select the rows called Texas and Arizona. So basically we need to select the rows. So how we'll be writing this? The army, that's the name of the data set, and using log because we have our index labeled, because we have created origin as an index. So that all index is labeled. So that will we will be using log for that purpose. So the random rows we needed, so I have passed two square brackets, and I can directly pass it like Texas and Arizona. That's in Arizona, and I needed all the rows for that because I needed to basically all the columns for that part. So I have written something like this, because with lock and nylock we have to pass the row and column both. So the comma separated value, uh, the first part is for row, which is the Texas and Arizona, and all the columns I needed, because you all know that one row is a combination of multiple column, and the same goes for one column as well. One column is made by multiple rows. If you select this row, so you see we have all the columns in that. If you select this column, so we have all the rows for that column, right guys? So let's move to the next question. Select the rows called Texas and Arizona and column company and size. So we have basically uh, need to specify both here the row as well and the column as well. So rows are Texas and the Arizona. We can write it like this. Perfect. And column, we need to separate it by comma, and the column is also random. So we'll be passing that